welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. I'm Karen Chaston, and it's so great to have you here. Amazing, 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 amazing. So as always, I am a Beyond Loss life coach. I assist people to move beyond any kind of loss and create their better everyday life. And that's what I talk about. I talk about how people can have a more loving way in moving forward after any kind of loss. And as I'm going to share with you, hi, Michaela, great to see you here. I'm going to, before we start and go through what we're going to talk about today. So the last three episodes, last two episodes, we've been going up the Beyond Loss, Gift of Loss staircase. And it's a 5-step process that I created, which I call the more loving way to move beyond any kind of loss. And this is where today we're on step 3, which I will reveal with you very shortly. But as always, I am going to draw a card from these beautiful channeled guidance cards from Marcia Quinton. I don't do readings, but I give advice and I assist you to become your own best friend, to trust your inner wisdom and to know how to move forward. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Sophia. Great to see you here. So what does our beautiful channeled spiritual guidance cards have to say for all of us today? Whether you are watching this live or whether you're watching the recording, this is for you and for me. Okay. Whoa. Soul Protector. Now let's have a really nice look at that beautiful card. We have a Soul Protector. Number 38, which adds to 11, as you can clearly see there, Soul Protector. So what does our Soul Protector have to say for us today? Pretty exciting, isn't it? Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Lisa, and thank you for the love and blessings. Michaela, yeah, thank you. I do like my red, but I'm very conscious of when I wear red because red is a bit of a power color and sometimes it can overpower. And that's never, ever my intention now. It certainly was in my corporate life. I wore a lot of red then, but no. But thank you. I like this red too. Okay, Soul Protector. Never doubt yourself or your judgment. She has power in her sword that will ignite the flow of energy and power through your door. She will open your mind and raise your vibration. She will awaken you to the consciousness of all life that surrounds you and bring you a great gift of love and power. Thank you very much. Okay. She knows that you are a grand soul, one who radiates light, and that your soul is to be protected at all cost. The Soul Protector has stepped into your life today, and you will feel a great measure of power. Funny that I'm wearing my red power color, isn't it? That will touch you deeply within your being. Listen for the sounds of the sword slashing through the barriers that surround you in this life, removing the debris that holds your heart, mind, and soul. Flow freely into the glow of life, for you are beautiful. You are magnificent, and the world awaits your radiance. Let's read that last little paragraph. Flow freely into the glow of life, for you are beautiful. You are magnificent, and the world awaits your radiance. How amazing is that? That is unbelievable. Okay, Liz and Amanda, I do not do card readings. I do a group card reading at the start of my show. I am a life coach who specializes in loss. I assist people to move beyond any kind of loss, and as you will see shortly, there are over 40 different kinds of loss that can affect all of our lives. We all will have multiple major losses throughout our lives. So I do not do readings individually. So I totally understand if you don't want to hang around for the next 30 minutes because that's not what I do. And hello to, right. Okay, Lisa, this card was for everyone. Okay. And it was amazing. Thank you, Amanda. And, you know, we all radiate positive energy. if we choose to do so. And it is a choice. Every morning we can wake up and we can choose who we're going to be throughout the day. A great little practice that I love to do is I love to look at, the day's events, what's in the calendar, what's going to happen today. Who am I going to be meeting with? Who am I going to be interacting with? Sure. Some people I don't know. There's people who I talk to anyone. I talk to people in coffee shops. I talk to total strangers all of the time. I will even stop people to tell them that I think the way they look is amazing, right? So I don't know that's going to happen at the beginning of the day, but I choose to be who I am. I choose to be very positive. I choose to see the better side of life, and as opposed to the negative side of life. We live in a world of duality, and there is always going to be good and bad, positive and negative, greatness and not so much greatness. But we get to choose the world we live in. And I understand that at the moment in the world that we live in, there's a lot of negativity out there, but you don't have to be that way. You get to choose who you are every single morning. Choose who you want to be when you're in this scenario and that scenario. We wear so many hats, and a lot of us wear so many masks. And I feel that this whole pandemic is about us removing our mask. And if we don't like who we see when we remove our mask, it's time now for us to take the steps to become that person we came here to be. And that's what I love to do, and that's what I love to assist people to do. So we're going to get started on today because we're on step 3. Yes, step 3 of the gift of loss staircase, which I just love. It is a more loving way to move beyond any kind of loss. But let me just read this. Thank you, Amanda, for that beautiful comment. Thank you, Liz McCalla. I'm so happy they found little, yes, isn't that great? It's always great when they find people who are missing, isn't it? And it appears like she's very, very well, but we're not here to talk about her. We're here to talk about you and how I can assist you to move beyond any kind of loss and create your better everyday life. So let's get started. So we are all on a journey from love to loss and then back to love. Now, love. Love is our heartbeat. Love is what drives everything we do. When we're in love with life and in love with ourselves, life is amazing, okay? And it's just when you are loving your job and you're loving your family and you're loving who you are and what you're doing every day and who you're spending time with and all those sort of things, it truly is our essence. Our love is our heartbeat. And when we breathe love into our body, everything is amazing. Our life becomes exactly how we are. But we're in a world, as I said, of duality. So we're always going to travel along this infinity loop where we have loss in our life. But so many of us see loss as a negative. And I don't. I did for a long time. But what I see loss is like our pivotal moment where we get to choose and we get to understand that because we live in a world of duality, we're in constant change. Nothing is ever going to stay the same as it was yesterday. We're slightly different. We're that little bit older. Something has happened in our life that will, probably change us for the rest of our life. And it could be something as simple as a movie that you watch. How many movies have you watched that when you actually think about it and they enliven you and they give you a new perspective, you're changed from who you were before you watched that movie. Well, that's what life is about. Life, we're all in a movie. We're all the star of our own movie. And it's really great for us always to remember that. So when loss comes into our lives, it's a pivotal moment for you to go, okay, who am I? How can I move forward? Who will I be when I move forward? Because I'll put a line in the sand. I'm not that person yesterday because of whatever this loss event are. Now, there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. When I first read that, I went, no way. I went searching for a list. I created my list and I've even added more to it. So here's the list, right? And I'm pretty sure that if you look at this list, many of you will go, wow, you know, I've had this and I've had this and I've had that and I got, yeah. And you start to go, wow, look at all the events that have happened in my life. And have I healed from them? Have I moved on? Or have I just buried them down with our avoidance tactics? And let's face it, the world, we have created a world that is ideal for avoidance. Food, alcohol, drugs. We work too much. We drink too much. We, shopping, retail therapy. Seriously? We exercise too much. We can do so many things to avoid social media, Netflix, avoidance. All of them are avoidance tactics, but they're considered normal, what society does, the way we relax. But are we relaxing or are we actually burying our feelings down because we don't want to deep dive into those emotions? Believe me, I've been there. I've had so many loss events in my life, and with the greatest one being the death of my son. You know, back 10 years ago in 2011, my husband and I woke up to find our beautiful 27-year-old son dead, literally dead at our back door. We thought he was asleep. We thought he was unconscious. But the paramedics very quickly arrived and they said those words that no mother, no parent ever wants to hear. I'm sorry, madam. He is dead. Probably has been for several hours. And that's what I went to Dan's funeral, and the day after work, after that, I went to work. I kept busy. Give it time. Just keep busy. Everything will be all right. And then, of course, 15 months later, another loss event came in the form of redundancy. And that's when I woke up. And that's when I realized Dan's traveling with me. He's guiding me. You know, Dan is the co-founder of the Chaston Center. I give him credit in all of my books, in everything that I do, in all of the programs that we have created to assist people to find that more loving way to move beyond loss. You can clearly see there are so many here that we're not forward. So this is the gift of loss, is the program that is one of the ones that I love to create. And this is where we really do assist people to deep dive into their relationship, the lost relationship. And it doesn't matter if the relationship, the other person is in this realm, or it could even be a place or a thing. You know, it could be a residence that you've lost. It could be a job that you've lost. So it's really important that we understand that loss is coming to all of us in very many forms. And this process works for no matter what kind of loss has come into your life. So in the last two sessions, which you can see on this platform, were there. So last Thursday and Monday. I'm here twice a week for 30 minutes at 11 a.m. Queensland time, at noon Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. So here we are, right? So let's have a look. The first two steps that we went through was stop and accept, okay? When you stop, you start to find your answers. You know, so often, nearly every time I come live, can I have a card, please? Can I have a reading? Your answers are coming from within you. That's why I don't do individual readings. I do a collective one at the start of every show, but it's important for us to know that we are the master we are seeking. And that came from my amazing spiritual teacher, Beffy Lane Haynes. And if you don't know her, I highly recommend that you get in contact with her. But this is what's really important. The second one, after you stop, is to come into acceptance. And there is a process. In the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross 5 Stages of Grief, that's her final step. She has you in and out of emotions for a very long time. unlimited time. You don't go through them once in that order. You go through them in multiple times in any order that comes up. That's why the stopping is so important. So you don't have to go in and out of emotions. The stopping assists you to deep dive into the emotions so that you can come to acceptance, so you can find the gift in this loss. Okay, so let me say, right, good morning, Christine. Wow, that's so hard to deal with the loss of your child. Thank you. I loved a man after being alone for 20 years. You will meet again, and good on you, Christine. And reach out if you'd like to have a conversation. I'm not sure how long ago that beautiful man passed into, across the veil, I guess is the best way to say it. Let me just come back here. I'm just going to type in my email address, and this is for everyone. If you would like to have, a quick 15-minute chat about anything that comes up, just reach out to me, just email me. We can organise a time, complimentary for 15 minutes. Just at the top of your heading, just let me know where you found me, just so I know. So when we said I was talking about the acceptance, and, the unconscious mind loop is really something that we all need to understand. And this is why we've all created the avoidance tactics all the way, so many different avoidance tactics. The world is an avoidance thing. Oh, no, my God, there's no way I can deep dive into my feelings and actually come to it. And this is what I call the unconscious mind loss loop. And this is where we will go in and we will say continually things like, I wish I had, why didn't I, if only, we should have, why didn't they, why did I say that, why did they say that, why didn't we do this? It just goes on and on and on and on and on, because it's our unconscious mind talking to us. So it's not as though they can ring us up and go, hey, this is your problem. This is why you're feeling the way you are. Put that beer down, or put that, glass of wine down, or, get up off the couch and do this, and let's actually deep dive into this emotion. Because when you do deep dive into that emotion, you will come up with these amazing things that you can do. And next session, which is on Monday, we will deep dive into exactly what you do. So make sure you tune in then, because they're the things that you can actually look at every emotion and you will come up with some things that you would like to actually release. It's amazing. This is an amazing process. But today we're on let me get over here. Step number 3. And step number 3 is the identify. So this is where we deep dive into those emotions and we start to identify, so that when we come on to step 4, we have all these identify things to actually put into what step 4 is. So what do we have to identify? Okay, so the first thing that I really, really want to make clear is that when any relationship ends, it's only the physical component of the relationship that ends. So there's 3 aspects to every relationship. There's a physical relationship, and that's what we do. That's the way we hang out together, the way we touch each other, the things we do, the things we say, all that physical component to a relationship. And this is for any relationship, okay? It doesn't have to be your partner, a sexual relationship. It's any sort of relationship. And it could be with your job, the physical part of you going there, the things that you do, the things that you say, the impact that you make on that company, okay? Obviously in a romantic relationship, it could be a relationship with your child, or it could be a relationship with your parent or your friend, or even a person in the elevator. It could be any sort of relationship. So that's the physical side of the relationship. The next part is the emotional side. Okay, now the emotional side is all encompassing of all of our feelings, the good, the bad, the glad, and the sad. Okay, so when you realize that it's all encompassing of every single one of them, and it's really important for us to know that, is there a negative emotion or is it a positive emotion, or are they both perceived? So let's understand that they're probably perceived, because sometimes it might not be it may be a bad relationship for you, or a emotion for you, but it may be good for the other person. So it's always perceived from our perception. Okay, and then the third part of the relationship, the third aspect, is the spiritual side. Now that's the intangible part. We know that we are connected to this person, place, or thing. We just don't know why we are so connected to it. So when the loss event occurs, any sort of loss event, any of those 40 plus loss events, it's the physical relationship that ends, because the emotional and the spiritual lives on forever. And it's the emotional relationship that causes us all of this pain. And this is what we're going to identify. We're going to identify all of those emotions in our body, and where they're located in our body is also very important. And that's what we identify. That's what we deep dive into. And it's a not so easy process, but it's an amazing process, because when you identify those emotions and when you understand them, guess what? They do what they're meant to do. They become energy in motion, emotion. They move on and out because they've given you the message. Isn't this beautiful? I just love this. I just love this so much, because it's something that I feel would have been ideal for us all to understand at a very, very young age. Because when we understand this, we can do that deep dive. And the good thing about it, it may be really hard at first, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And guess what? The less amount of these different emotions are coming to you. Have you ever noticed that you sort of can have similar relationships? Sure, the person looks different and they're a different body. They may even be a different sex, but they are giving you the same life lessons. And because you're not getting them, people are going to keep coming to you, because that's what you're down here for. We're on a spiritual path. And during our path, we're going to have lessons and we're going to move through things. That's why life is in that infinity loop from love to loss. If we were just here to love, it'd be like that. You know, it's like the heartbeat. It would just be straight up. It wouldn't be up and down like we've all seen our heartbeat monitor. No, what it would be is one straight line, and it'd be boring. Like, and how do I know it'd be boring? Adam and Eve, they were bored. They had to eat that apple because they were bored. There must be something more to this. And, you know, we all get to that stage, I'm pretty sure, in life where we go, surely I'm here for a reason. Surely there must be more to why I'm here. So that's what I really love about the identify stage. So we will identify things like our hopes, dreams, and aspirations. You know, what were they? And we'll also identify, okay, they're not going to happen in the way that we planned them, but how can they happen for me moving forward? And do I still want them to happen for me moving forward? So the identify stage is a really big stage, really step, I should say. And it's really amazing, because on this step, you deep dive into your whole past, from the time you were in the womb all the way up to who you are now. You will identify all of your loss events. You will identify the ones that you've healed from, the ones that you've buried, and the ones that you'd like to heal from. And during this process, that's when we move on to the next step. So it's really important that, you know, have you ever heard it's about having the courage to express your feelings? Now, this is headed up the number 3 regret of the dying. So have you ever heard of Bonnie Ware's book called The 5 Regrets of the Dying? It's a totally amazing book. I highly recommend it. But what it does is, Bonnie Ware was an Australian palliative care nurse, and she interviewed all of the people in palliative care. Now, 99% of people in palliative care probably never go home. Okay, so here they are on their deathbed, and she's interviewing them. You know, what are the regrets? And she came up with the top 5 regrets of the dying. Now, number 3, right? Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. And it's not just to everyone else, but it's to yourself. You know, we are the only person we're going to spend our entire life with. And so often we put ourselves last. We don't even realize that we're the only person we're going to spend our whole life with. 24/7. This is who we have. And let's think about that. How nice are you to that person? How do you speak to that person? How do you think? How do you treat your body? How do you energize yourself? It's really important for us to always ask this question. Because when we have the courage to express our feelings to ourselves, we then can go, right, how do I feel about that? What do I want to do moving forward? How can I make a difference? How can I become that person who I really, really love? And that's the journey that I took 18 months after Dan passed, when I stopped. Just keep busy, give it time. When I stopped that cliche mindset. And that's when I went looking to not only become my own best friend, but for this better way to move beyond loss. And that's how the gift of loss was born. And I'm so grateful because, the path I walked wasn't easy, but I have certainly made it a lot easier and a lot better for everyone else. And that's what I love about it. And I'm quickly running out of time. So now you can probably see why we have so many loss events. It's all about us learning how to express our feelings, how we can move beyond any kind of loss so that we can grow spiritually. And I'm pleased to say that my book, Demystifying Loss, I'm going to have to update this cover now, has actually become an international bestseller. So here is the link that I am going to also put in here. So I highly recommend it. It is on Kindle at the moment. Hopefully by tomorrow it will be listed as a paperback as well. I've just got to get my cover working correctly. I'm just having a little bit of trouble with that, but that's okay. So here is the link that I highly recommend. I detail in all of this, not all 40 different kinds of loss, but I deep dive into many of them. I deep dive into the hard way to do loss. I deep dive into this more loving way to do loss. And it is an amazing book. It's 320 pages, 58,000 words of pure love, so that you can find that more loving way to move beyond all of your loss events. So on Monday, be here when we move on to step 4, which is the complete stage. So are there any more questions? I can't believe how quickly my 30 minutes goes. Here I am. I just have a couple of minutes left, if that. So are there any more questions? I really like to thank you all for being here and for staying here and for playing with me. Hi, Ezra. Ezra, one of my favorites. Yes, it is a great thing. Raylene, you've written yes, please. Not 100% sure what that was in relation to. If you quickly want to let me know, that would be fantastic. I highly recommend that you download the Gift of Loss. Email me. I will have copies here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, where I can autograph for them and send them out to you. Great Christmas gifts, amazing Christmas gifts for anyone to be able. It's easy read. I write like I talk, so how could it not be an easy read? It really is that simple. So if you've got any questions, now is the time, because I literally have a minute and 15 to actually say anything else, because I love these 30-minute shows because it just makes it more concise, really do. As I said, reach out. You've got my email address in the thing. Christine, if you'd like to have a chat, more than happy. And good morning from WA. It is fantastic to have people here. Narelle, I really need to know how to move on from a loss of mine. Narelle, as I said, reach out to me. Download the book. That is the best way. Believe me, I give you my whole program in that book. So definitely download the book. But I'm more than happy for you to email me. Just put out up the head here, or the head of the email where you saw me. Then I know exactly where we connected, and then we can go from there. But believe me, you can move beyond any kind of loss and create your better everyday life. There is no need for anyone to be stuck in their life, not moving forward after any kind of loss. And, there's a big difference between grieving and suffering and sadness. And it's really important for everyone to understand that. So, great. And that's it. My time is up. I'll see you here. Thanks, Christine. I will see you here Monday, same time, where we go on to step 4 of the gift of loss process. Bye for now. Reach out anytime.